All right, so we're pedaling once again here and just working our way to the west. I wish the sun would have kind of come out. It's a little chilly. It's actually probably the chilliest hike I've been on so far since the springtime. Hands are a little cold. So our next point of interest is coming up just up ahead here. You can see all this work that the beaver's been doing. You can see that there is a series of dams, and again, that's going to become very, very evident here very shortly. So what is coming up just ahead here, you can actually see a larger dam. There's another one, there's another one. The beaver's been really busy here. What's coming up ahead is actually the railway station, quote unquote, or siding here at Silver Harbour. And so this was one of the original railway sidings from when the line was constructed. I believe it kept its siding right up until some point after 1982. After 1982 it was removed, and so here's our next point of interest. This is where the siding starts, right here. We'll check that out in a second, but as you can see here, we do have a milepost marker, and so this is milepost 184, and so that is the mileage on the Kinghorn. The Kinghorn line. The mileage was marked from Long Lac to Port Arthur and then eventually Thunder Bay. So we're at milepost 184, but for the original lines, for the Canadian Northern Railway Nipigon subdivision and then the Canadian National Railways Dorion subdivision, the mileage is different because those lines actually originated in Jellicoe, not Long Lac. And so what we have to do is we actually have to subtract, sorry, little brain fart there. We have to subtract 49.7 miles. And so the mileage becomes 134.3 on the original lines. Okay, so before we go any further, you can tell that this is a little bit of a different segment of video. So it's 2 years after we filmed the original segment. It is a very different day. You can see it's blue sky. It's around the same time of the year, a very heavy frost. So the reason why we're here and the reason why we're doing this is we want to update the little piece of video here talking about the station here at Silver Harbour and the siding. So again, Silver Harbour was one of the original stations on this line. There was no station here. It was basically just a siding and a flag stop. And so it did have a water tank, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. We have the metal detector with us, and we've got some new information. We're going to go hunting for the water tank and see if we can find it. So the water tank here was removed in 1930, and basically that had to do with the fact that by that time bigger locomotives were coming. When the line was originally built, you needed a water tank every about 15-20 miles. So there was a water tank at Pass Lake, there was a water tank at Port Arthur, and so this was kind of the in-between point. I'm not sure what the dog sees. And so the water tank here was removed in 1930. The siding remained, and what's interesting about the siding here is that it was not particularly big. I think it was reduced in size because when you see timetables, you can see it listed only at about 1,900 feet, which is pretty small. But the siding managed to hang around until sometime after 1996. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a piece of map, so the topographic map. You'll see the siding on here. And then I'll show you some timetables where you'll see the station, and then you'll sort of see the progression of things. So here we actually have a box for the fiber. And so you can see the mileage on there, so 184.03. And so we'll just continue kind of plugging along here. Got some stuff caught in my back sprocket there. And so the siding again is just here on the south side of the grade. Now you'll notice up ahead there's some water, okay? And that's where things get a little bit interesting here. All right, so I'll come back to the water in a second. So here we can actually see some indentations from the ties. I don't know if there's more. You can see, there's a spot further down where further to the west where you can actually see it really, really well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the water. So we mentioned that the beaver was very, very busy in this area, and so this is the end result of that. We have a little bit of flooding that's happening here. You know, what the heck is this stuff? We have this is actually a broken coupler right here. So these are these knuckle couplers to connect the railway cars together. That's kind of neat to see. I wonder how they got broken. Maybe somebody got in some trouble for that. All right, so let's resume our journey here and talk a little bit more about this water. So yeah, so part of this is flooded. So I actually hiked this section of railway grade. I actually kind of did it in a couple of separate hikes, but I actually came here and explored in the winter time. Me and Luna, actually, one day we came here, and it was the end of December. I want to say it was like the 29th of December, and the temperature was like -26 or something like that Celsius. So it was pretty chilly outside. So anyway, you can see how it's all sort of flooded here, and this is all a result of these beaver dams and all this beaver work that's happening. I could tell that it was flooded when I was here in the wintertime, but of course you can't see the extent of it, obviously because of the snow that was on the ground. We're going to try to negotiate our way through here very, very carefully. I don't want to really get wet. I kind of walked through here on my way eastward this morning. We'll try to bike through here now. I don't know how that's going to go. Silver Harbour actually had a water tank as well, and I've been trying to sort of keep my eyes open to see if there's any remains of that water tank. I haven't seen anything so far. We'll just kind of try to keep looking and see if we see anything. It could have been sort of removed, or it just sort of could have kind of been buried. So here you can actually see really, really well the indentations from the ties where they were pulled up all along here. Hopefully you can see that okay on the camera. Kind of see the last vestiges of fall here. You can see all the tamaracks, and tamaracks like where it's swampy, so that's kind of an indication of where we are. Again, you can see indentations from the ties here, and so the tamaracks are starting to turn color as well. I was hoping it would be a little bit drier here. It was a very, very dry summer, and I don't know what this looked like during the summer, but we did get quite a bit of rain last week, and so I don't know if that made this worse or, you know, caused this to flood a little bit more. I don't know. I was actually supposed to do this hike a few weeks ago, and I delayed it because of the weather. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, the siding just continues. We can see the ties, or the indentations from the ties. I'm going to kind of fast forward you through here as I very slowly plug my way along. The dog's going to be filthy. I'm just trying to keep my eye out here for a water tank. So as we plug our way along here, I can't tell where the, it's so low here, swampy, I can't really tell where the siding comes to an end. I think we're gonna jump across here. Just trying to see if there's any pieces left of the siding here. Again, it's very, very difficult to tell. This by far is one of the least well preserved sections of the grade, obviously. All right, so we'll have to figure out a place to splice this into the original video. But we're here towards the western end of the siding here at Silver Harbour, and we've just spent the last little while trying to find the water tank here. Not very successful. And so the reason why that I was looking here, I'm going to show you a map. And so this map is a 1960 geological map from the province of Ontario. And you'll notice on the map here, I'll sort of zoom into the section. So you'll see the railway line, and then you'll see this area right here where it says station, and then there's a collection of buildings. And so what I did was I took that map and I overlaid it onto Google Earth, and basically I used that to try to pinpoint the location. And so you'll see there that there's a collection of buildings. So we know that water tanks, anywhere they had a water tank, they had to have a section house because they needed to make sure that the water didn't freeze in the wintertime. And so that's what I was sort of going off of. And you can actually see on there, there's a cluster of buildings, and then there's one right beside the grade kind of off on its own. And I figured, oh, maybe that's the base for the water tank. So I kind of looked around in this area. I kind of went back and forth through here. Didn't see anything. As I go that way, I'm going to keep looking. Again, we're kind of right at the end of the siding because the siding starts way, way back there. So unfortunately came up empty in this, this little quest. Still looking for that water tank, but if I didn't see it when I was walking, I might never see it. Ballast isn't easy to ride through here. I can't tell if this is a continuation here of the siding or what's going on. It could be. Yeah, I think the siding continues here. Right, because the fiber optic cable marker is way over there. Here you can see there's some dam work that's done here. So this is quite an extensive beaver operation here. Just judging by where that little part of the cut is, I'm guessing this was part of the siding here as well. Here's another piece of dam, and again, no, not seeing any water tank or anything. All right, so this brings us to the conclusion of this wonderful flooded area here. So we'll, not sure where the dog is going.